Palu is the part of Sulawesi Island hit hardest by the disaster. Rescuers and recovery teams have focused their efforts and heavy machinery at key points there. Like at this hotel, the Roa Roa, more than 60 bodies have been recovered, but 50 other people are still missing. They include members of a paragliding team in the city for a competition.
We remain optimistic that they're alive, even though scientifically speaking, by this time after an event like this, the body has trouble surviving.
As these satellite pictures show, the disaster destroyed vast areas. This is the Belaroa neighborhood. The quake caused soil here to turn to liquid. Close to 2,000 houses were swallowed by the earth. But from the ground, rescue efforts here are sparse. Many people are trying to recover the bodies of their relatives and neighbors on their own. Others scrounge for any of their belongings that may be left. Frustration is growing in the city. Residents say it's because deliveries of aid are too slow. Many shops have been raided, often for food and water, or whatever bounty can be dragged away. Some have even started stealing fuel. But blocked roads mean much must be brought in by air. It's a slow process, but the need is increasingly desperate. Ben said, TRT World.
We can get some analysis on this now with the seismologist Ian Stimpson joining us from Kiel in the United Kingdom. Ian, thank you for joining us on TRT World. I wanted to ask you about this dispute over the tsunami warning. There was one given and then it was stopped after perhaps an hour or so. Can you tell us any more about that and what sort of effect that would have had on the outcome?
Yeah, sure. My understanding is that the earthquake happened at 5 local time. A tsunami alert was issued just 5 minutes later. And the video where you see the tsunami waves coming in across the shore occurred another 3 minutes after that, after the initial warning was issued. And the warning was only lifted until the tsunami waves were measured at only 6 centimeters high on tide gauges. So there was a tsunami warning in place when that tsunami hit.
And so the impact of that then?
Well, the problem with that is that with a very local generated tsunami like this one was, there is very little time to get the message out. And of course, the earthquake severely damaged things like the cell phone networks. So it's very difficult to disseminate a warning that quickly. Really, when you're
so if you were in charge of the system, what would you have proposed doing?
I think that the system actually worked as well as it could have done under the circumstances. When you are that close to a significantly large earthquake like that, then if you're on the coast, actually feeling really strong shaking is effectively your tsunami warning. That if you're close to a coast and you feel a large earthquake, then you really need to get to high ground very, very quickly, just in case there could be a tsunami.
Ian, we're hearing that tremors continue. Is there a risk of another quake on the scale of Friday?
Aftershock sequences are always, by their very nature, unpredictable. The usual pattern is that we will expect to have a whole sequence of earthquakes. We've had about 30 so far that have been in the range of magnitude 6 down to magnitude 4. We would expect that pattern to continue over the next few days, weeks, and possibly even months, slowly decreasing in magnitude. But the problem, of course, is that a lot of the structures have already been severely damaged by the main earthquake. So being weaker, it does make the rescue efforts really quite hazardous if you've got these magnitude 5 or so aftershocks going on.
Ian Stimpson, thank you. Now, the former UK Foreign Minister, Boris Johnson, has delivered an eagerly anticipated speech at the Conservative Party